Okay, so some of you were wondering how to make the effect of the character jumping out of the carousel. So I'm going to show you how to do that in my rough way where I am not a professional tutorial maker. I need to learn how to use some of these forms. But first I'm going to show you what I did to create the carousel, and then what I'll do is I'll show you how I made the background, the character image. So the first thing I'm going to show you is you're going to go over here to components. You're going to click and drag the carousel onto the screen. Now here you can go down here and switch it to vertical if you want, but I want them all to be the same size. So I just took the handy dandy, the handy dandy option that CreateStudio gave us, and I just took the preset. And I just have my squares. I'm going to place it where I wanted it, right there. Now I also do not want them to be overlapping on the screen at the same time. So I'm going to go down here to the side padding right here, and let me just put that and see what the value is going to end up looking like. You can always change it after, but I don't want them to be on the screen. Whoops. Oh, that was weird. I don't want them to be on the screen at the same time. Why are all those images in there? Now I'm going to go and just use the images I already have before I show you how to do it. So my first image was Miss Alyssa. My second image was the blank pink. Then I had my image of Bella, and then I had my blank. So if we now see, they are scrolling, but I don't want them to go that fast. I need to work on the timing. So I'm going to go into my edit slides. Well, first, actually, I forgot to show you. I'm going to skew it a little bit. And you can skew it by your X if you want to go that way, or you can skew it by your Y, and that's actually how I did it. So I can move it in that direction, I can move it this way, I can go any way that I want. I know that I use the value of 42 because I had to keep inputting it for all of my images. So I know that that's what I used. So I'm going to put that right about where I want it. Okay, so now you can see that they all are skewing up. And it skewed the images that were in the carousel. So I don't have to do anything about that. Now what I need to do is I need to do the timings because I do not want the blank background to be coming after Alyssa. So I am going to scroll back up here to edit slides. Click on that. And if you remember, you can also reorder these. If you ended up putting it in the wrong way, you can reorder it by clicking and dragging. Say you wanted the blank one first. I don't, but you can click and drag the order if you end up putting it in the wrong way. So here, I'm going to go in and I'm going to change the transition and the pause. All right, so I don't want the transition, I don't want any transition from Alyssa to the blank background. I want it to be instantaneous. And then however long you want your pause. I think I had it for like 4, but for the purposes of this, I'm just going to put 2. So now what that does is when you see Alyssa, she leaves and it stays on the pink. And I need that pause to be, say, 2 seconds. I forgot to change that. So you can have the transition. Let's just make the transition 2 and the pause 2. So here's Alyssa. And then when I had her jump out, you can see it didn't transition. So it didn't scroll up. It just went from Alyssa to the pink. And that's where I then put the character to jump out. So I'll show you how I did that after. So now when the pink scrolls up, here comes Bella. So I need to do the same thing because I need Bella to stay there. See how it's still scrolling? So I need to go back in to my edit slides, and I'm going to use the same timings for Bella. I'm going to have her no transition time. And what did I have? 2 seconds. There we go. And then for the Bella background, I'm going to have, it says 1.8 and 2. So let's just leave that at 1.8 and 2. You're going to change it to whatever timings you want, but this is just showing you how you will have that. So now you can see that as Alyssa stands there, then it just stays right at the blank background, scrolls up, and the same thing with Bella. That is how you do the setup of the carousel. So now I will show you how I made those images. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how I made the images. And I just went in and let's just get Bella. Click and drag. You guys know how to do that. And then I just chose an action, and so that she could look the same throughout the whole project. Just click and drag that. So what I did is I set her to where I wanted the image to begin on the frozen image in the carousel, right? So I chose something, let's start with that one, right? So then I just shortened the action and I had her start with a little bit of an action. So say that's what we want to use for our carousel image. I'm going to leave the character image here, but what I'm going to do is I am going to publish this as a ping with a transparent background. I'm going to select it, and then I'm just going to put it on my desktop. We're going to make Bella, and then we're just going to have her right there. That is going to publish to my desktop. Okay, and I paused it because I didn't know what was on my desktop. I might have stuff for work, so I had to just move the image so I could grab it. So what I used, I mean, I'm sure people have all sorts of different things that they use. This is my old image that I had of her. I needed to redo it again, not just to show you how to do it, but because I want to have the start action the same when I do the animation. So then I'm just going to take the image that I just printed, that I just published from CreateStudio, and let's just start from scratch here. All I did is I made a little frame and I colored the background in Canva. You can do it however you want it. And then I just clicked and dragged the image to Canva. And I'm sure other people have other ways. I'm not a graphic designer, so I just use this. But then I just sized it to however I wanted it in. So this is going to be the image that goes in my carousel, right? Then what I did is I just made the same one, but it's blank, right? So I have Bella, and then I have my blank one. I already have the blank one in the carousel from my other one. I don't have to re-edit that, but let me publish, let me download this, and then I will return back to CreateStudio. Okay, so now I imported my image that I had, And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my carousel. Let me bring this over and let me move Bella. I'm going to go back into my carousel and drag the new Bella that I just made into the carousel. I'm going to go in. I had already deleted the old image, but now you can see that the blank one is coming before the new one. So I just need to reorder that and make sure that the blank comes after and go back to the settings I showed you. The reason why I had to do that is because when I do the animation, I need to make sure that the image ending in the carousel matches the beginning of the animated character that I have, and they were different from my previous one. So let me show you how I do that. Let's go to Bella. Here is Bella. This is when she shows up on my screen in the carousel. I am going to go to, I have to keep scrolling, and I'm probably going to increase this a little bit so I can see more of a find. I need to find where she disappears. So this is just going to take a little bit of time for going in and making sure. So here is where she disappears. So I'm going to drag the animation that I made right here. So they're the same, but they're not the same size, and Bella is not skewed. So first I have to go into the properties and I have to make her that 42 on the Y. Now she looks the same angle. Then I just need to size her to match the image that I have in my carousel. Now I might not be perfect doing this right now. I'm not going to take too much time to make sure, but I definitely have to resize that to be the right size. Right now, let's just say that that's going to be it. So now I need, yeah, they're not the same size, but I'm not going to worry about that too much right now because you're going to have to figure out that sizing. I just want to show you how, as we play it, I don't know why that does that. It's weird. CreateStudio, why is that doing that? It shows all the images when I start the play. All right, so here she is, and then she animates. Then what I do is I don't remember exactly what I did, but I know I did position. I always tend to go to linear, and then I had her pop down. Let's see. Oh, I guess I timed it pretty well. But now what you see is because I skewed on that y-axis right there, when she comes down, she's still kind of skewed, and that's not what we want, right? So I have to go in and not only do position, but I also need to do rotation. And what I need to do for my end point, my keyframe there, is I need to go to properties and put it at 0. Now we can see when she jumps out, she's going to be facing, there she goes. Now she's facing and she's no longer at that angle. So if we just look at this, I didn't do Alyssa, but let's just go here. So we have that, and that's when I would have timed Alyssa's action. Then we have Bella, and then she jumps out and she faces forward. And I think that's all you have to do, it's just all in the timing. Once you get the timing of the carousel the way that you want it, then it's just sizing and timing the animation to correspond with when it goes from the character on the carousel to when it goes to the blank. Hope it helps.